Born in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, in 1957, Osama bin Mohammed bin Awad bin Laden was the 17th of over 50 children of Mohammed bin Laden, a wealthy construction magnate with close ties to the Saudi royal family. Growing up in privilege, young Osama received religious education shaped by strict Wahhabi teachings. The blend of wealth, conservatism, and exposure to political Islam during his studies at King Abdulaziz University deeply influenced his worldview. By the late 1970s, he had begun supporting Islamic movements opposed to Western influence in the Muslim world. His transformation from a quiet student to a religious zealot was set in motion, a journey that would eventually shake the world. When the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan in 1979, Osama saw it as a divine call to jihad. Leaving his wealthy life behind, he traveled to Pakistan to fund and join the Afghan resistance. There, he built networks with other Arab volunteers and established Maktab al-Khidamat, the Services Bureau, which financed, armed and trained thousands of Mujahideen fighters. The CIA indirectly supported many anti-Soviet groups, creating a volatile mix of ideology and foreign aid. For Osama, the war was not merely about Afghanistan, but about defending Islam itself from foreign oppression. The conflict transformed him from a donor into a warrior and earned him global fame among Islamist circles as a hero of jihad. As the Soviet troops withdrew from Afghanistan in 1989, Osama bin Laden sought to channel the victory's energy into a global mission. He and a close circle of Arab fighters founded al-Qaeda, the Base, an organization dedicated to defending Muslims worldwide through violent jihad. Unlike the Afghan war, al-Qaeda's new goal was global, to expel Western influence from Muslim lands and challenge America's growing dominance. Bin Laden's experience, money and charisma turned him into both financier and ideological leader. His vision began shifting from local conflicts to worldwide revolution, planting the seeds of what would become the most feared terrorist network in modern history. After Iraq invaded Kuwait in 1990, Osama offered his veteran fighters to defend Saudi Arabia. But the Saudi government instead invited US troops to protect the kingdom. To Osama, this was a betrayal. Western soldiers on Islamic holy soil. Furious, he denounced the Saudi royal family and the United States, marking his first public break from the establishment. His outspoken criticism led to his exile in 1991. From Sudan, he began financing radical groups and plotting against what he saw as corrupt Islamic regimes allied with America. This period shaped Osama's ideology into one of absolute confrontation. The West and its allies were no longer adversaries, they were the enemy of God. Exiled to Sudan in 1991, Osama bin Laden found refuge under an Islamist government sympathetic to his cause. There, he built farms, businesses and training camps while expanding al-Qaeda's network across North Africa and the Middle East. Sudan became his operational base, linking jihadist groups from Yemen to Egypt. During these years, he masterminded attacks like the 1993 ambush in Somalia, where US forces were targeted. The success emboldened him, but international pressure on Sudan grew, and in 1996 the government expelled him. Forced to return to Afghanistan, he was welcomed by the Taliban, a new militant regime that would soon give him the perfect sanctuary for his global campaign of terror. Back in Afghanistan, Osama forged an alliance with the Taliban, who ruled most of the country under strict Islamic law. From mountain caves and secret compounds, al-Qaeda's global command was rebuilt stronger than ever. Bin Laden's speeches grew more radical. He now called openly for jihad against America and its allies. His camps trained recruits from dozens of nations in explosives, guerrilla warfare, and suicide missions. It was here that al-Qaeda planned its most devastating acts. While Western intelligence underestimated him, Osama was preparing to make history with an attack that would forever alter the global order. The world still saw him as a fugitive extremist, but he was now the architect of terror. In 1996 and again in 1998, Osama bin Laden issued fatwas declaring jihad against the United States. He accused America of occupying Muslim lands, exploiting their resources, and supporting Israel's oppression of Palestinians. To him, civilians were no longer innocent, Under this ideology, al-Qaeda launched attacks on US embassies in Kenya and Tanzania, killing over 200 people. The world began to recognize the face of bin Laden, now on America's most wanted list. But for his followers, he had become a legend, a warrior defying the world's superpower. The stage was being set for the deadliest terrorist act in modern history. On September 11, 2001, 19 al-Qaeda hijackers turned passenger planes into missiles. 2 struck the World Trade Center towers. 1 hit the Pentagon, and another crashed in Pennsylvania after passengers resisted. Nearly 3,000 people were killed, the deadliest terrorist attack in history. The world watched in horror as the Twin Towers collapsed. Bin Laden denied involvement at first, but later boasted of the success, claiming it was retaliation for decades of Western aggression. The event reshaped global politics overnight. America declared a war on terror, vowing to hunt him down. For Osama, this was his ultimate message, but it also sealed his fate. In response to 9/11, the United States launched Operation Enduring Freedom, invading Afghanistan to dismantle al-Qaeda and overthrow the Taliban. Osama escaped into the Tora Bora Mountains, evading capture through a complex web of caves and loyal fighters. The world's most powerful intelligence agencies joined the manhunt, yet he vanished. Rumors placed him in Pakistan, Iran, or deep in tribal regions. As America's wars in Afghanistan and Iraq dragged on, bin Laden became both a ghost and a symbol, of vengeance for some, of defiance for others. Each year that passed without his capture deepened the mystery of the man who had brought the world to its knees. By 2005, Osama bin Laden had retreated from the battlefield into quiet seclusion. He lived in a fortified compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan, less than a mile from a military academy. There, with his wives and children, he continued to direct al-Qaeda operations through couriers, avoiding technology that could betray his location. The compound's towering walls and secrecy aroused suspicion. CIA surveillance began in 2010, tracking his trusted messenger. The world's most wanted man, long believed to be in the mountains, was living comfortably in a city. After years of patience and intelligence gathering, America finally had its target. The hunt that began in fire was nearing its end. From 2010 to 2011, the CIA maintained a relentless watch over the mysterious Abbottabad compound. Surveillance drones circled day and night. Agents studied every movement. A tall, bearded man walking in the courtyard, never seen leaving the walls. They called him the Pacer. The house had no phone lines or internet, yet cash deliveries and couriers linked it to al-Qaeda networks. Piece by piece, the CIA became convinced they had found Osama bin Laden. For President Barack Obama and his national security team, the evidence was circumstantial but compelling. A decision loomed: to strike or not to strike. The world's most secretive manhunt was about to reach its climax. On April 29, 2011, inside the White House Situation Room, President Obama met his closest advisors. Intelligence reports were debated with precision, a 60 to 80% chance that bin Laden was inside. Some urged caution, others insisted action. Finally, Obama made the fateful choice. It's a go. Navy SEAL Team 6 was selected for the mission, trained in secrecy at a mock replica of the compound. Every contingency was planned, every movement rehearsed. The world would soon witness the most daring counter-terrorism operation in modern history, one that would define America's war on terror and seal the fate of the man behind 9/11. May 2nd, 2011. A moonless night over Abbottabad. Two stealth Black Hawk helicopters lifted off from Afghanistan, carrying the elite SEAL Team 6. Silence was critical. As they approached the compound, one helicopter clipped a wall and crash-landed, yet the team pressed on. Explosions shattered the quiet city as SEALs stormed the house, breaching walls and clearing rooms floor by floor. Women and children screamed as gunfire echoed through the compound. Upstairs, behind a locked door, the target waited. It was 1 a.m. when the world's most wanted man came face to face with his hunters. In the dimly lit third-floor room, Osama bin Laden was found unarmed but defiant. He peered out from behind his wife as SEALs entered. 2 bullets ended the decade-long manhunt, one to the chest, one to the head. The confirmation was immediate. Geronimo EKIA, enemy, killed in action. SEALs secured his body, gathered hard drives and documents, and evacuated within 40 minutes. The crashed helicopter was destroyed to conceal US technology. Back in Washington, silence filled the Situation Room as word came through. The mission was complete. Justice had finally caught up with the world's most elusive terrorist. Hours later, President Obama addressed the world. Justice has been done. Across the United States, crowds erupted in celebration. Outside the White House, at Ground Zero, in the streets of New York. For millions, the news brought closure and relief, though the scars of 9/11 remained. Around the world, reactions were mixed. Some saw justice, others martyrdom. In Pakistan, shock and embarrassment spread as questions arose. How had bin Laden lived so close to a military base unnoticed? The man whose shadow had loomed over global security for 2 decades was gone, yet his ideology had not died. The world had changed, but not ended. After identification through DNA and facial recognition, US forces followed Islamic burial traditions as ordered by Washington. Within 24 hours of his death, Osama bin Laden's body was flown to the USS Carl Vinson in the Arabian Sea. There, wrapped in a white shroud, his remains were lowered into the ocean depths. The US sought to prevent his grave from becoming a shrine for extremists. His end was as secretive as his life. No monument, no resting place, only the waves. For America, the mission was victory. For his followers, martyrdom. Either way, the sea became the final witness to a man who once terrified nations. The world reacted in waves. Western nations hailed the operation as a triumph of justice and intelligence. In parts of the Middle East, some mourned, others remained silent, torn between ideology and fear. Conspiracy theories surfaced, questioning whether he was truly dead or part of a political cover-up. Meanwhile, al-Qaeda vowed revenge, but its leadership began to fracture. The Arab Spring was reshaping the region, and Osama's death symbolized the end of an era. Yet his image, calm, defiant, prophetic, lived on in propaganda. His fall proved that terror could be hunted but not entirely destroyed. With Osama's death, many hoped terrorism would fade. Instead, al-Qaeda splintered, giving birth to new, more brutal groups, ISIS among them. These factions adopted bin Laden's global jihad vision, but turned it into pure savagery. From Iraq to Syria and beyond, chaos spread again. The ideology that Osama had nurtured survived, mutating into digital propaganda, lone wolf attacks and cyber radicalization. His death removed the man, but not the myth. For the intelligence world, the lesson was clear. Killing a leader is not killing a belief. The war on terror had entered a new, unpredictable phase. Osama bin Laden's legacy remains one of devastation and paradox. To his followers, he became a symbol of defiance. To the world, the embodiment of evil. His actions reshaped global politics, wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, airport security, mass surveillance, and religious distrust. He forced nations to redefine freedom and fear. Billions were spent, thousands of lives lost, all tracing back to one man's ideology. Yet historians continue to study him, not to glorify but to understand how conviction can twist into extremism. His story stands as a chilling reminder of what happens when faith turns into fanaticism. Decades after his death, Osama bin Laden's rise and fall remain one of history's most haunting sagas. From a wealthy Saudi youth to the mastermind of global terror, his life reshaped the 21st century. Yet behind the ideology and violence lies a warning that ideas, when fueled by hate, can outlive their creators. As the world continues to fight extremism, the story of bin Laden endures as both history and caution. In the echoes of the past, his voice still lingers, not in triumph, but as a reminder of how one man's vision of purity plunged the world into